Hello, my name is Matthew Tyler. I will argue that we do not need fossil fuels for a productive society because we already have technology to move on to something better. As a nation, we've led the world through technological innovation, from the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford. Even Einstein came to America and developed many things here. Today, most of the intellectually sound minds are working here in our great nation to identify things as a better way of living on this planet. They're preparing for major leaps forward along the innovation timeline, many with practical, proven technologies that can invest in our world rather than scouring resources that are ultimately dangerous, costly, and unnecessary. So who are the major players? Right now you'll see that the top three grossing are all oil companies. In contrast, you've got the top solar company, First Solar Inc., where if you compare their assets, they're just not really even in the same ballpark. But if you look at the return on investment capital, there's some progress. So who are the innovators that are really going to drive this change? I pull out two examples, Elon Musk and his group Solar City, and Bjarke Ingels of the architecture firm Big. My motivation for the subject came from an article I read by Louis Darnell, published in Young Magazine, where he talks about the necessity of rebooting our civilization, possibly even without fossil fuels. His take on it is that the Industrial Revolution, we didn't really have all the pieces. We didn't know about solar technology. We didn't know about a lot of the electronic capacity that we've got now. It certainly didn't have computers to do a lot of the work that we needed. So when you look at coal as it developed in the early 1700s and oil, which followed in the mid-1800s, you can see that our civilization really does seem to peak out as far as industry goes. What's interesting to me is that from Bjarke Ingels and Elon Musk's perspective, they don't really see the Industrial Revolution as being a thing of the past. They see themselves very much as part of it, which is encouraging because they are seeing how this innovation from the past can now move forward. In speaking about the science behind this, and what makes the Industrial Revolution what it is, there was a Nobel laureate, Ivar Gever, who was selected to be part of Barack Obama's council to determine the validity of global warming. The interesting fact about this is that he used Google to do some of his research in a day or two, and then he presented what he learned about it and believed was relevant. He was then quoted and misquoted for years following this, and he finally had to give some addresses to clear up what he believed from what people thought he understood and presented to Barack Obama. He really emphasized the fact that there are different types of science. There's junk science and there's verified findings. A lot of what we are facing right now is junk science. It's science that's being drummed up to help people believe in a certain thing. The fact is we have only begun to tap into how much oil is actually there for us. It's costly, it's expensive, it's hard to really get a handle on, and it's widely speculative. Even the people in the know with the science behind them and aren't always certain. That's why there's so much money being made for people that can gain any degree of expertise in this. On May 1st, 2015, Elon Musk made a couple of very big statements that set the internet ablaze. He said fundamental transformation in the way the world works was part of his presentation, entitled The Missing Piece, where he presented Tesla's Powerwall, which is essentially a battery that you hang on the wall and hook up to solar panels. The reason why this is such a big deal is because of how much money it takes out of the picture, how affordable it makes to people, especially in third world countries. The internet went crazy over this. Everybody was contradicting him and saying, no, it's not going to be viable because of this reason and this. But the fact is, money began shifting towards Tesla and other solar companies immediately following this. So, innovation is nothing without inspirational innovators. What names do you remember when you think of the coal boom or the oil manufacturing role in the Industrial Revolution? There aren't people that you remember. But what about the light bulb and the car? There are people that come to mind. We need people to fill the role in our timeline of history. Maybe it'd be better to not even consider the Industrial Revolution a thing of the past. Big's take, for example, is to take the understanding of architecture and really lead it into the innovation of how we can build our cities and how we can integrate sustainable living into every aspect of our lives. So in conclusion, when asking if we can graduate from fossil fuels, there is an assumption being made that we haven't already. People want human history to be filled with humans. In the end, humanity will dominate the missteps we've made in the past, not because it's profitable, but because our collective consciousness is as strong as it ever was. Thank you.